Thanks for tuning in, Jared. Jared called, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it was on presuppositionalist apologetics, and he's called in today on the line. This show went out a few days ago, I think on the 10th of February 2024. There's a link below if you want to go and watch the call without my input. So we're going about 5 minutes into it. He's calling in with the claim that we've only got intelligibility because there's a triune Christian God. And I take this to mean that if there was no triune Christian God, we would live in a reality where we're all stumbling around and bumbling around like village idiots, unable to discern anything or make sense of anything or have reason or have logic. So that seems to be tantamount to his claim. Let's have a listen and see where it goes.
So are you suggesting that intelligibility exists if and only if God exists should stand until somebody comes up with a defeater?
That's not at all what I said. I don't even know how you could possibly gain that being what I said.
Okay, so let me ask this again. What is your case for intelligibility only?
Now, why did he have to reply to that? Why did he have to reply? Because he's right. That's not what he said. In fact, he put forward his hypothesis, and he did not say, I'm going to believe in this until somebody proves me wrong. He didn't say that, but he didn't have to respond to Matt's point. All he had to do is say, no, this is my hypothesis, and I can prove it. He could have just said, no, that's not what I'm saying. But then he sort of chuckles, has a bit of a laugh, and he gets snarky about it. Okay, let's keep going.
Existing if a God exists.
Yeah. So by God, I just mean the atemporal, unconditional precondition is going to be necessarily non-contingent and universally ultimate.
That's no, sir. No, Jared.
So in other words, the unmoved prime mover.
You don't get to say you're talking about the triune Christian God and then scale it down to an abstract God at the point of the argument. You can't have it both ways. So how do you demonstrate that the triune Christian God is required for intelligibility to exist?
Well, personally, I'd be quite happy for him to scale it down and explain and justify how intelligibility can only be if this abstract prime mover exists. What's the connection?
Yeah, so I just went over this. So like these are going to be the attributes.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Jared. We're going to try this one last time. And if you don't do it, then I'm just going to assume that you're a troll. So what is the evidence to support your claim that intelligibility can only exist if the triune Christian God exists?
Sure. So the negation of such, and it's going to be proved by contradiction, the negation of such would conceptually entail at least one set of a synthetic predicate, which would negate its modal accessibility and have the conjunct of the truth value of the given proposition and its negation.
Okay, how many of you out there think he's reading this? He's reading a script.
Entails. It's not that hard to understand that.
Goodbye. Welcome to band, Jared.
What?
Jared,
what
you are so he's gone. I hung up.
No, I know. I don't understand what. Like, you could prove literally try to prove literally anything by that point, right? If your proof is a theoretical negation is the proof.
It's not just, see, this is why he's like, I don't know how you can say that, because I was trying.
I've had this out with presuppositionalists many, many times, and I've always said to them that unless you can demonstrate that a God exists, then you're in exactly the same boat as me, in the sense that I've got no ultimate foundation for knowledge and for reason and for logic. I haven't got that, I admit it. I've got confidence in these tools. And a presuppositionalist will say, well, I've got that because I've got God. No, you haven't. You're in the same position as me. You've got this philosophical problem, which seems to be insoluble, unsolvable, unless you can demonstrate that your God exists and then show how that God actually underpins, say, logic and reason and intelligibility. Unless you can demonstrate how that is the case, then you still haven't got it, even if you can demonstrate that God does exist. So I think with Jared, what he would need is he would need two existences, or say two realities, one where a God demonstrably does exist, and one where God, the absence of a God, however that might be demonstrated. Maybe that's impossible, but let's say you've got two examples, and to test both to see whether intelligibility exists despite there being no God, and to compare the reality where God does exist and see what the difference is. It may well be that there's no difference at all, that humans may still have evolved, life may still have started, etc. Humans may still have evolved, and we would have intelligibility even in a universe where there is demonstrably no God, for example, compared with a universe where demonstrably there is a God. There may in fact be no difference, but he would need those two data sets in order to draw any worthwhile conclusions. Okay, well, that's all for now. That call was longer, but I didn't play the whole thing. So I'll put a link below, and if you want to go and listen to it all, that's fine. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.